Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank y'all so much for coming back. I do appreciate it. Now, this is probably the last video y'all going to see this get up, right? I said before, I'm bulk recording and I got to use my time wisely, otherwise I'll never make videos and post on this channel. So if you're new, welcome. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I am an investor. My name is Shalise. I'm about to be 40 in a couple weeks. My husband and I are first generation millionaires. We are on this journey trying to do better with our money and leave a legacy and help a bunch of people along the way. So if you want some motivation, inspiration, like, share, and subscribe. I am not a financial advisor. Your girl is not a fiduciary, but I am a regular investor like you. I mean, I'm making videos in my bedroom or I'll make them in the car. You know, I just try to make the videos to be consistent to show you that when you're consistent and when you are knowledgeable and when you put the research in, it does work. And always, please make sure you beware of scammers, spammers, fake pages. I am only active on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you just beware. When in doubt, send me an email, mommytradertube@gmail.com. So today we're going to be talking about how much do you need to retire? So I got this question a couple times, so I figured I would make a video. So I've been getting people asking me, is 100,000 enough to retire on? Is 500,000 enough? Is 900,000? Is $1.5 million? Is 2 million, 10 million, etc.? What is enough to retire on? And simply put, my answer to those questions is it depends. Again, I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, but it really does depend. That is a loaded question. It doesn't seem like it when you say, well, how much do I need to retire? It's a loaded question because I don't know what you need, because there's a lot of circumstances that you have to take into consideration in order to even come up with that number. That's why a lot of people like going to a financial planner or a financial advisor, somebody along those lines, because they can help them. But what if you don't want to pay anyone a fee for that? And you're watching a lot of YouTube videos, you're watching a lot of TikTok and Instagram videos, and you're trying to figure it out. Like, I don't know how much I need for retirement. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to think about. Then this video will help you to kind of get started on that path. So on my channel, I do like periodic updates on my husband and I's like progress towards our FIRE number. Now, FIRE stands for financial independence, retire early, but it's basically a retirement number, right? There's a ton of calculators on the internet. Ooh, my throat is a little dry. A ton of calculators on the internet that can help you figure out in terms of based on how much you're investing now, how much you'll have at a certain point in the future. But again, if the question is how much do you need for retirement, I want to talk to you about some of the things that you should really be thinking about. The first thing you need to be thinking about is your spending habits today, right? Because your spending habits today will reflect on what you're going to be spending or what you're buying in the future. So if you are not budgeting right now, you need to start. Corporations budgets, the government should be budgeting, you should be budgeting, etc. Budgeting is an easy way to see how much money you got coming in and how much money is going out, because you can't even think about what you need for retirement if you don't even know what's going on right now. You can't even worry about the future, and you don't even know what's going on right now. So you need to have a budget. You need to also pull your credit report. A lot of people don't do this. You can actually have a free copy of your credit report every year. I'll have the link down below where you can go to the website and request a free copy of your credit report. But you should be pulling your credit report so you know what debts you have out there. Sometimes we may forget because it's charged off or it's in collections, but we need to know, like, the debts that we have going on out there that we co-sign with people for that we may have forgotten about. Your credit report will reveal that information. So start there, start budgeting and pull your credit report. Once you do those two things, the second thing you need to start doing is allocate money to invest, right? Because if you're trying to figure out how much money you need for retirement and you don't have no money invested, we don't want to worry about that right now, like the end game. We want to worry about getting you started, okay? So go down to your your HR at your job and start opening up a 401k, a 403b, a 457, whatever your employer has that's retirement based. Go sign up and start putting $100. You don't have to worry about trying to max it out. You don't have to worry about trying to put thousands of dollars in. Simply $100. Many of us started like that, a couple of $100, what we could put in every single month out of our paychecks. Just start there. You don't have to not invest because you don't have a lot of money or because you can't max something out. Start really slow and you can adjust from there. So that's the second thing you want to be thinking about when you're trying to figure out how much money do you need for retirement. So once you start investing, this is what I want you to do. Okay. Every year on your birthday, I want you to increase your investments automatically by 1 to 5%. You can pick. It could be 1% or 5%, because depending on what age you're starting, you're going to have to speed it up, right? And that's just mathematics, right? If you pull up an investment calculator, it'll tell you that in 1,000 words. I'm telling you, simply put, if you're trying to speed it up, you got to increase how much you're putting in your accounts. Okay. If you get a tax refund, all of my folks, I know a lot of people in my real life and who I've met via this page that get tax refunds. We're not talking about, whether you're giving the government an interest-free loan. We're not even talking about that. But if you get a tax refund, that is a great opportunity to max out your Roth IRA, whatever's left, or put, a nice chunk into, your investment account or your brokerage account, whatever account it is. It's a great way to get caught up. You getting a raise? That's another way. You got a side hustle? That's another way to kind of get started and get moving fast. So we're not even talking about how much you need yet, because we're trying to cover the base points here. The next thing you need to consider is how much time do you have left? Now, a 20-year-old who is investing for the first time and a 50-year-old who's investing for the first time have two different timelines, and their approach to investing and getting ready for retirement are going to be different, right? The 20-year-old has just time on their side to kind of figure it out and kind of, take their time to kind of get caught up. Whereas the 50-year-old need to be really a bit more aggressive, to be honest, to kind of get caught up. So if you're 50 or older, take advantage of those opportunities, like with the Roth IRA, and they give you that extra contribution to kind of get you caught up a little bit. Take advantage of that. That means you're going to have to make a sacrifice somewhere, right? If we're going out to get our nails done, going to get our hair done, taking vacations, we're about that self-care life, that soft care life, whatever kind of life it is. You want to make sure that you are making a sacrifice somewhere and you are putting extra money to your retirement-based account so that you can be ready at that point. Another thing that you want to think about, and I'm going to bring up a simple tracker that I use that many of you have as well. So thank you for your support that helped you on your journey. But the fifth thing you want to think about is how you're going to access these accounts. So let's say you get started with all the tips that I just gave, and now you have $500,000. And let's say you are 55. How are you going to access this money, and what's your strategy? What's your order of withdrawal, right? So this depends, again, on your age. If you are 60 years old, then of course you can access your 401k, you can access your Roth, etc. But what if you're 50, right? 55. Well, technically, you cannot access the gains in your Roth, but you can access your contributions anytime. But on the other hand, if it's a 401k and you're 55, it's like, well, you can't really touch it. Now, there's Roth conversions and little loopholes around things, but traditionally, for the regular person, you cannot access it. This is why I like taxable brokerage accounts, okay? Because of the liquidity. So if I open up a taxable brokerage with Fidelity or Vanguard or Robinhood or with whomever, I can access that money at 45, at 50, just set aside a little bit for taxes, but there's no penalty. Versus if I access a 401k and I'm only 50 and I'm not 59 and a half, not only is there taxes, but there's a penalty from the IRS. So again, you want to just be strategic in terms of how you are accessing your money. But you'll see up on your screen just a simple retirement plan tracker that I created just to give you a starting point, right? If you want to go to a financial advisor, it's a great thing to take to them so you know where to even start. When I went to a financial advisor years ago, I was clueless, and I don't want to walk into any type of situation, especially financial situation, clueless on what's going on. Just kind of, not saying taking the word of the financial advisor, but I want to have some type of understanding. I want to have some type of knowledge as to what's going on when I walk into whoever's office, when it comes to my finances and the goals that I have for retirement. So if you look at the financial plan tracker, you see that on there I have age, right? Because having an age in the timeline is very, very important. So I know how much do I have in between to kind of get caught up. Do I have 10 years to get caught up? 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? I won't know that if I don't put in my current age and my goal age. What's my family dynamic? Is someone going to be living with me? Am I going to have to take care of an older parent? Do I have a special needs child? Like I have an autistic son? Like those are things you're going to have to take into consideration to figure out how much you're going to need for retirement. Tracking your net worth. This is a metric, excuse me, guys, a number that everybody should be tracking. What is your net worth? What are all your assets? Write them down. What are all your liabilities? This is stuff that you owe. Write them all down. And then when you subtract your liabilities from your assets, you have your net worth. It may be negative. Most of us started with a negative net worth, but if you're consistent over a long period of time, it will turn positive, okay? And then track your percentages. How close are you to your goal, right? And then once you figure all that out, you'll know, okay, my retirement number is how much I expect to live on per year because I'm budgeting now and I'm just projecting. So I know I'm going to need for my husband and I, about $90,000 a year to live in the future. That's counting inflation because things cost more. So if we know we need $90,000, we times that by 25 years or by 35 years, just to give ourselves some wiggle room. Then we have that number you see on my tracker. That is our retirement number. So that's why I said track your net worth, so you can get your assets up so that you know, I need to put more money into real estate, in my investments, in my cash and CDs and bonds to get my assets up. But I also need to decrease my credit cards. I need to decrease student loans. I need to decrease car loans, personal loans, things like that. I may need to increase my income by getting a side hustle. I'm doing this channel as a side hustle outside of the day job with kids and all the activities that they going on. I am making these videos. See, it's almost nighttime, right? Making these videos, as a way to get extra income, though I love making the videos, but I do get AdSense, YouTube AdSense and my website and stuff. But that helps to fuel our retirement a little bit quicker. So once you have your retirement number and you have your net worth and you have your timeline and all that, your motivation, why are you doing this? For whom are you doing this? Right? Because this journey will have some lull, it'll have some slow moments, it'll have some duds, right? Sometimes you may want to stop. So having your motivation written in black and white is so important on this journey. And then, like I said, your order of withdrawal, how you're going to access this money, because that's also key. And when you do all of that, now you're on a path to retirement. So whether your retirement number is 100,000, 500,000, 700,000, 900,000, $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million, $5 million, this gets you started on that path. Is it the end all be all? No, but nothing is, right? It's getting you to think about it so that you're not waking up at 60, right? And now you're trying to figure it out, but rather right now, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, or even 60, there is time to do something, and having something is a whole lot better than having nothing. So I just wanted to come on here just really quickly, make it just a really chill type of video and just talk about and answer that question of, well, how much do you need? It just depends on the person. But if you took the tips that we talked about in today's video and you kind of put them to work regarding your situation, it'll at least get you started on that path. And you can really think about, do I need to increase my retirement number? Do I need to decrease it? Maybe I don't need $1 million. Maybe I just need 500,000. Maybe I'm okay with 250. Maybe I can just, have a certain amount and just work a part-time job to help, add to those, my expenses. And keep in mind, I said nothing about Social Security, right? That would be like icing on the cake, a cherry on top, right? Because we don't want to rely or depend on the government. We want to make sure we're doing all that we can to put ourselves forward. So again, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you want that simple tracker that I created, I do use it. I know many of you use it. It's down below. I think it's like $5 or something like that. But you can get started. It'll get you thinking about, where do I see myself in the future? How am I looking when it comes to retirement? Getting started. You don't have to start with a bunch of money. Fractional shares do add up. Your dollars do add up, okay? So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Smash notification button so that you don't miss upload every time I post a video, and leave me a comment down below. And you already know, until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.